So, we lost a great actor, a great person, a great human being. Um, as you know, all of you may have heard Chadwick Boseman, a great actor, great person. He passed away due to colon cancer, and it was a shock to everybody because lots of people didn't know he was sick. People speculated because the way he appeared, he appeared very, very small, and people were used to seeing him be a little bit more bulky. And
Yeah.
when I seen him, it didn't sit well with me either. I was like, he does look like he could something could be wrong. And come to find out, he had been struggling with like fighting against this colon cancer for like the last 4 years, which means that some great movie scenes that we've seen him in, he was fighting colon cancer. So that also says that he obviously was a very strong human being. And his death did get to me because I really liked him as an actor. He was a great actor, and he did some great, great roles. He played
Yeah.
some great. I mean, he played James Brown and the baseball. What's the baseball player's name?
Jesse Robertson.
Yeah, Jackie Robinson. So yeah, he's and among some other roles that everybody know him as Black Panther. He was T'Challa.
Yeah.
Um, well, I was thinking like, how could they get someone else to replace him, man? As T'Challa.
Yeah,
I
no,
think
man.
when people look at him, they see, no, you're a Black Panther, not this other guy.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I'm actually kind of torn up about it because that's another actor that and then he was young. He was what 40. I don't want to get it wrong. He was in his like early to mid 40s.
Yeah.
So he was just around my age.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to give a shout out to him, his family. I don't think he was married, but if he was to
No, he
his
was married.
his
He was
wife,
married and had
he
kids.
he was married and had kids.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. So it's very sad. So shout out to the Boseman family. And bro, man, we love you. You left some great movies behind for us to see and continue to enjoy for the rest of our lives.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Very, very tragic. Very tragic loss. He was very inspirational to young Black kids. Playing Chitala and Black Panther. That really that inspired a lot of kids. A lot of kids. We
Yeah.
don't have too many Black superheroes to look up to, and him
Right.
putting on such a great performance, that was great. But
Yes. Yes. He
not
will be
to
missed.
yeah, he will be missed. But not to
Yeah.
get down to the tragic stuff in our country. I know everybody heard about the Jacob Blake story. Jacob Blake was horrifically shot by cops 7 times in the back, and now he's paralyzed from the waist down. This led to many protests breaking out in Kenosha, Wisconsin, and it's just been a total mess. I mean, as we see, this has not changed, and it won't change until I don't even know, I don't even know what will happen to make everything change. So for us to get some real change in this. I mean, because the cops keep on shooting us. They do not care. And I know a lot of people are going to say a lot of things about this man, but I want to just get to some of the facts. And because the facts are important. And with us having the facts, then we can move appropriately. So the cops got a call from a woman that Jacob Blake was not supposed to be there on her property and that he had taken her keys and refused to leave. After that, cops shot Blake because after cops shot Blake, they said they recovered a knife from the floorboard. Also, cops had a struggle with Blake, and cops were saying to Blake to put down the knife. But witnesses there said that they did not see a knife in Blake's possession. But as I said, a knife was recovered. So if they had to tussle with the cops, and during this tussling, and let's say he did have the knife on him and he didn't pull it out and use it, what they're trying to say is they're trying to justify them shooting him because they're saying he went to the car and he supposedly bent down to grab something. But who would bring a knife to a gunfight? That makes no sense. And especially the way cops are out here killing us, I think black people know not to try and pull out a weapon to try and, go against cops. Even though we have seen it happen before, but, it's flight or fight, So some things, sometimes things happen. So D, what's your take on it?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of have a different take on it.
Yeah.
It's like a split with me. I'm like partially over here, partially over there. I'm kind of like torn in the middle because I do believe that the shooting the man, period, even if it was one shot, was not justified. Because for one, there were three cops. When he went to his car, he he actually did go to his car and bend over. He didn't gesture as though he was getting in the car. He went to the car, opened the door, and you can see him bend over a bit. But right as he do that, he doesn't get to bend over into the car before you hear shots start popping. Uh, they had already tussled with him, but there was three of them. And when they went to the car, when he went to the car, they were right behind him. So I feel like they could have just grabbed him. They were like as close as I am to my camera right now. They could have just grabbed him, man. Or one of the cops shot at him with a taser. Apparently they must have missed or it didn't work or something. But why not shoot him again with the taser? Why try to kill the man? At the same time, and people are not gonna like me saying this, but the man was already not known to be a very good person. Uh, but regardless of your record, what you've done in the past, whether you were a criminal or not, he wasn't really opposing a threat to them, but it was still a possibility that he would have opposed a threat had they let him go into his car. Because no one knows what he went to the car for. So all we could do is, we can guess or whatever. But
speculate.
The truth of the matter is, we can speculate. If it was me and I was one of the cops and I see him bend over into the car rather than get into the car, I probably would have shot him too. Black, white, purple, it don't matter. So it wasn't a matter of him being black. It was a matter of you see someone that could potentially pull out something that could kill you. You're a cop. And I think that the black people need to stop looking at cops, all cops, as though they're just targeting black folks because a lot of black people put themselves in the position to be targeted. Now I don't know why they was going to arrest the man in the first place. But well, if because it was said that he was called to break up a fight. That's what the speculators said.
I don't think that was initially true though, because the police call said that that the woman called because he had taken her keys. So he may have been there in the wrong, but my whole thing is 7 shots in the. I mean, the way you can see in the video, he holds his shirt and just starts shooting and just start unloading. Why not? I know they say choke holding is wrong, but if you just choke hold him and like get him away from the car, bring him to the ground, then get more people, just y'all get on top of him until you can try and subdue him. And I'm not saying crush his windpipe, the man screaming to breathe and you're crushing his windpipe. That's not what I'm saying. But there's ways that you can subdue people without killing them. There's ways that you can incapacitate people without totally knocking them out.
Right. There's no justification in them shooting him. Like I said, they were right there by him. They're cops. They have training to take a person down without lethal force, or they should if they don't. I kind of want to show more of that video on here, but because of the graphic, we'll put some the links in the description so you guys can go check it out, and maybe you'll see something that we missed or whatever. But going back to what I was saying, a lot of black people now are putting themselves in situations with cops that they don't have to put in stupid situations that they should not put themselves in with the cops because, and then you also putting the cop in the situation too because all the cops are not talking to black people.
Yeah,
But if you just happen to be black and you're breaking the law, or you broke the law, or you appeared, you may be coming off as a potential threat, you're gonna be dealt with like that's whatever you're trying to do, you're gonna be dealt with accordingly. And it's not something that every time a cop, no, these cops, no, I'm not talking because shooting a guy 7 times in the back is not self defense.
yeah,
Shooting a guy in the back, period, is not self defense. So,
exactly.
so I think what made it kind of come off like the cop could possibly have been justified was the fact that the guy was at his car about to bend over. No one knows what he was about to do,
Yeah,
but they still could have taken him down without killing him.
yeah,
I mean, without shooting him because he didn't die. But I mean, now the man he can't move. He's paralyzed,
yeah. Now, D, I want
and
to
all
ask
that
you.
could
I
have been
want to ask
avoided.
you this question. As
Hmm.
you being a father, now you know they said he had his kids in the car. Do you think that he was gonna actually try and do something crazy since he had his kids in the car?
It's a possibility because he did have kind of a violent history of abuse and also like sexual abuse as well. So that doesn't mean that that's who he was that day or what he was up to, but at the same time, you don't know.
Yeah,
Um, like I said, he didn't actually get a full gesture in as to what he was about to do when when he opened his car door. Um, and I think also it's very, very low, stupid, unprofessional of the cop to shoot him like that
yeah,
right in front of his kids.
exactly.
And
Yeah,
um, that's disturbing. That's
yeah. That's very
disturbing, and it's uncalled for. And so the way the cop did it, because they had other options, I think that there should be actions taken against the cop. All three of the cops, because they all three of them played a part, and they could have, like I said, they could have stopped him, but they didn't. I mean, they could have stopped him without the lethal force, but they didn't. So I think cops need to be trained to make better judgment. And what kind of person does it take to shoot a child's father right in front of the child? These were little kids.
yeah,
Can you imagine what that does to the kids?
exactly, man. Just
Even if
that
it,
image,
yeah,
the sound.
yeah, you can never unsee that.
Yeah,
And imagine how they're gonna feel towards police now.
exactly,
So
exactly.
what I want to say to the black community, our people, stop doing stupid stuff. If a cop, if you're about to get arrested, comply. We don't need no more Rasheeds going around fighting with the cops and then taking off running and trying to shoot at the cops with their own taser. You know what's going to happen. So let's. How about we use our brain? I mean,
But
come on.
well, D, that's true. But okay, that's true in a way. But I think we have gotten to the point where there's videos. I watched a video the other day of this black guy complying, and this cop comes in and just karate kicks this guy for no reason. And what it says is it's like it kind of throws out the whole nature of, oh, comply and nothing will happen. I mean, we've complied and we've still been shot and killed. So, like I said
Yeah,
before, it almost goes to the fight or flight thing. Like if I'm gonna die, then I don't who wants to die just who wants to die the way George Floyd died. I would rather
yeah,
go out fighting than just have somebody just put their knee on my neck and just suffocate me. I mean, and I think it's just that's the point that we've gotten to in our country, that is so bad that when you have a run in with the cop, you don't know what's going to happen. When a black person sees cops, you have no idea how that's going to transpire, what will happen. And yes, you're right, we do have to move smartly, but moving smartly is calling the cops on the cops while you're being detained or being arrested,
Yeah,
having somebody
yeah,
report. I mean, there's just certain things that we have to do to minimize some of this stuff, because it's going to happen. And what I saw when I saw that cop shoot him 7 times in the back, that was an assassination attempt. He it would have been fine if he would have died, because everybody thought that Jacob Blake died, because who gets shot that many times close range and lives? So
yeah,
it almost looked like we're trying to get rid of y'all. This is an assassination attempt, and it's every day. It does not stop. I mean, and just man, I don't know. Did you hear about the shooting in the protest?
I did. But before you go to that, let me say something. And I agree with you. You never know what the outcome is going to be when you get stopped by a cop if you're black. Um, but the reason I say we have to comply, because you need to comply anyway because it's the law.
Yeah,
Um, the thing about complying is true. You don't know what kind of cop you're dealing with, but that's just it. You don't know, so you can't act as though you're dealing with a hostile cop just because it's a cop, because then
yeah,
you're going to provoke them and put yourself in a stupid situation. So if you comply with them, it's a possibility you may get a bad egg that may do what they're going to do anyway, but it's also a possibility that you could build a life that don't get taken because you didn't do nothing stupid. You complied. And I think that if more black people start complying instead of having this, well, I'm black, you're a cop, you should do this to me because I'm black. No, you need to comply because you're black, because don't give them a reason. If they're gonna do what they're gonna do to you, they're gonna do it anyway. But if it's a cop that's potentially just trying to do their job, here you are being stupid to them, saying stupid stuff, fighting them and stuff like that, and you giving them a reason to retaliate.
yeah,
And
yeah,
that's what I'm saying that we need to stop doing. Stop giving them a reason.
yeah. Yeah, man, it's horrible, and yeah, we do, because you know what? If you give them any inkling of a chance, they will take your life. They don't care. They don't care. As we see, they're trying to kill us. And what
Hmm.
I was about to get into was the Kyle Rittenhouse, the 17-year-old wannabe cop terrorist who took the law into his own hand and started to gun down protesters. And I know that's very controversial to say, but when a person travels across state lines, a minor, mind you, a child, he's 17 years old, cross state lines with a gun to play police officer and protect businesses that he did not own, that I mean he had no affiliation with, you're a terrorist, and you are looking to incite violence. You have intentional. What you're doing is intentional. You're intentionally going across state lines to do to. I don't want to say cause harm, but it's the potential to cause harm, and that's one of the things he's getting charged with. He faces first degree intentional homicide charge and 5 other charges, and which is, I mean, he should be charged. And a lot of people will say, well, one of the guys he killed was a pedophile. Once again, I mean,
He didn't know that.
he didn't know that. He was just out there shooting people. And
Yeah.
so you can't really justify that. You can't justify that, because what if he didn't kill a pedophile? And what if he could just kill 2 normal people, two hardworking people? Then would it still be justified? No, because, and that's the thing. That's why I hate when people go back. They try and fine tooth comb everybody's background, and to try and find something to discredit them. I mean, that look, I was not always a saint, and I will be the first one to say that. But you know what? If you compare the person who I am now to the person who I was 10 years ago, of course you're going to get a totally different person. But people grow.
Exactly.
People make better decisions, and you can't take that away from somebody if they've grown, made better
Yeah.
decisions, and gotten better. And Joseph Boseman was the guy who was the so-called pedophile. A lot of people don't know he got his charge when he was 18, and the girl that he was charged with was like 16 or 15. How many high schoolers do you know that are seniors in high school dating freshmen? It's
It's common.
it's
But you
common.
know
It's
what?
common like that.
It
It,
is very common. I wonder, if you don't mind, I want to show like a clip of that video of this kid, man, because some people, we're talking about it. Some people may have not seen the video, so let's just show a clip of it so you guys can get more of an understanding of what happened, what transpired, and like I always say, maybe you'll see something that we missed. So here's the video.
Oh shit! Shit! People are getting shot all around us. People are just getting shot everywhere, guys. Fucking idiot! I need a fucking medic! Ah, fuck! Dude, take this. Take this. Take this, medic!
Hey, you just shot them! Hey, dude right here just shot them! Dude right here just shot all them down there! That dude just shot them right there! That dude right here! Yeah! Get the fuck down there!
Injured straight ahead. Someone injured straight ahead.
We just see this kid out there playing cop, playing soldier, murdering people. And people will say, well, they was chasing after him. What was he doing for them to chase after him? He had to do something to provoke, to have people to initially chase him. And then if people were like, well, he was a medic. Well, after he shot the dude in the head and shot the dude in the back, why didn't you give him medical attention? You went running, you called somebody. People were like, he called the cops. He did not call the cops. He called one of his friends or his mother, which I don't know if too many people know, but his mother drove him down there. So honestly, his mother is complicit in this whole entire murder scene too, because you the one who drove the 17-year-old down there. It just is so much. And I don't know
Yeah.
if people know, but there was a shooting last night. Antifa and Black Lives Matter got into with Trump supporters, and a Trump supporter died. So now it's like we got two people lost. They got one person lost. This is what you see in gang stuff. This is no different from gang stuff.
So what happened to the person that actually shot the guy in the head? That wasn't Kyle.
No, that was Kyle, and that's what people
It
are trying
was
to
Kyle.
say, that it wasn't him, but it was him.
Because when I seen one video, I seen like another guy run through the cars and they said that was Kyle. So, but the guy who shot the other guy in the head was the guy who took off running. So that had to be Kyle, right?
Yeah, that was Kyle. Yeah.
Okay. So, I've seen some people saying that, well, he should, I don't know how he's gonna get past the whole shoot the guy in the head, what that was about, but the other charge when he was getting chased down the street, that was just self defense. But they, you know, I don't know. It's crazy, dude. I don't know why he shot the guy in the head, or what was said between them two before he shot him in the head, because they were
Yeah.
talking prior to him shooting him. And you know, and then one of the people that got shot had a gun in his hand. The guy
Yeah.
who got shot in the arm, he
Yeah.
had a
The guy
gun
who
in his
got shot
hand.
in the
Before
arm.
he got shot in the arm, he was aiming the gun at Kyle, but he didn't shoot him. Um, but he got shot. I mean,
But he
if
got
someone
shot.
aiming a gun at me and I'm aiming the gun at them, I'm gonna pull the trigger.
Bang, 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 baby.
Yeah, because I'm feeling like you aiming at me, or I'm aiming at you. I'm gonna shoot you before you shoot me. Oh, you ain't
It's the
shot yet.
Wild Wild
Why
West.
wait? I won't even wait for them to shoot. You just shot
I
this
mean,
dude in the chest. I mean, come on, come on.
I did not get that. And then he was on the ground. I'm like, bro, why don't you? And then they had already known that he had shot somebody in the head. So if you don't, okay, don't kill the kid. Because, honestly, we kind of got to get away from all that. But, man, shoot
Yeah,
him in the leg. Shoot him in the arm. Like, there's other ways you can stop people. You don't always have to shoot from here in the torso and in the head and do a kill shot.
yeah.
Like you can shoot here and shoot here, the leg, the knee. Shoot him in the foot.
Well, I have a question. I mean, I can't see that good, so I'm looking at the video. It's kind of dark or whatever. Um, so I know that Kyle had a gun. It was a handgun, right? Or was it
No, Kyle had like a
rifle?
AR. He had like a
It
long
wasn't
barrel
a
AR-15. Yeah.
Okay, because I literally couldn't see the gun because I can't see good enough. But so he still had this gun in his hand when he walked past the cops. Am I right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Why did they just pass him up?
Because he white.
In
That's why.
fact, in fact, he stood in front of one of the cars, and that particular officer said, "Get out the way,"
He was like,
and he got out
he's
the
like,
way.
I'm killing people. He's like, I'm killing people.
Yeah,
He's like,
and they
hey,
didn't
I'm
even
killing
respond.
people. You,
Man, what
D,
kind of
they were
world is
like,
this where
thank
you
you.
can
You're
go
doing
kill
our job
somebody,
for us.
right? What kind of world are we living in where you can confess to killing people? You're right there basically giving yourself up, and you just you get passed by, overlooked, like he wasn't there. Like that, you know what I think? I think that they were gonna run on down there and look for,
Probably so.
yep, so they can put the blame on them. Because I mean, someone got shot. I'm sure you heard the gunfire because right before, as they were pulling up, he was still shooting at people. So I'm sure you
Yeah.
probably even seen it, and it's like, oh well, you're good. You can go ahead.
Yeah.
So who were they going there to capture, to stop, or to arrest for what had just happened? And
Exactly.
then
And you passed up the
one of the
guy.
other people was telling him, that guy right there, he just shot those people down there. Oh, what, that guy with the gun? No, he didn't shoot nobody.
He didn't shoot nobody.
Come on, come on.
Right.
This world is what's your favorite word, man? Asinine.
Yeah, asinine. It's very
Man,
asinine, man. Yeah.
yeah, man.
It's getting crazy out there, man. I don't like saying it, but it's like it's a real war. And I don't even want it's not
Mhm.
even a race war because I would have said it's a race war, which it kind of is. But you got nothing but white people dying. You got white people dying on both sides. You know,
Mhm.
I mean, we're
Yeah,
getting shot by the cops, but in the actual like on the street battles, we got
it's white
whole
folks.
whole white people dying out there getting shot. I mean, man.
I have to say this, man. I have to say this. Um, I said this before in several other shows. I'm a Christian first, and a lot of people don't like to hear about what the Bible says about things. But if in the Bible in Revelations, it actually tells us that uh, chaos was going to break out. in the world before the end of days, before Christ comes back. And the kind of chaos it said was going to break out, is the stuff that's happening right now. We're having plague. This plague is still here. It's not going anywhere. It hasn't left yet. Um, and now you have all of these wars and stuff breaking out. Things that the Bible actually said was going to happen. In fact, everything that the Bible said was going to happen in the past happened. And I think people need to maybe pay more attention to what it says so they can do what it says. Not like kill people and stuff like that.
Yeah, let's
But
not go with that part.
do the righteous do the righteous things that it says, and we just, all who are Christians, you may be watching this, we have to pay attention. That's my 2 words to everybody: pay attention.
Yeah. You gotta pay attention, and you gotta move. We gotta move smart. It's just a rough time, and man, I really pray for our country. I mean, if you're watching this, please be careful. If you go out to the protests, please be careful. Keep your head on a swivel. Let's try and keep it peaceful. I know it's hard to keep it peaceful when you got agitators out there. I mean, it's a real fight for our democracy. It's a fight for, like Joe. I don't like when Joe Biden says it's a fight for the soul of the country, but this really is what it is. I mean, I really see that's what's going on. I mean, you have the people who support Trump, who support this fascist ideal of living, want to put down and suppress people who've been suppressed. And then you have people on the left who are just trying to fight to get their voices heard and just help these marginalized groups. So, we don't continue to have this stuff. That's, if you look at history, you oppress people, and then the oppressed people, they break out, and this is like what happened in France. So, I just really want to tell people, be careful out there, keep your head on a swivel, try and keep it peaceful. Don't let agitators take away from our message. That's the biggest thing. And don't forget, we got to vote in November. I mean, you want to see real change, you got to rush to vote. You have got to rush to vote. You got to pop out to vote. You have to, you gotta be a part of the system. And that's the problem. We have not been part of the system, and now the system is unrecognizable to us. And now we have to be involved in the system again, so it can start to look like us.
And I want to add, we have to rush to vote. And if you want to register to vote, you can go to our website. It's www.rushtovote.com. It will be in the description. You can register to vote right online. So let's make it happen, guys. We gotta play our part. And the way you make your voice be heard is by exercising your right to vote. So let's get it.
Exactly. I want to thank everybody for watching. Please like and subscribe, and be sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any uploads. Thank y'all.